Hey everyone, you are tuning in to AfterBuzz TV's Olympics coverage. Make sure you stay tuned if you want to talk gymnastics.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the AfterBuzz TV After Show for the Rio Olympics gymnastics coverage. I am your host. My name is Dani Golub, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Dani Golub. I have a very special guest host with me here tonight. She is a dear friend of mine, up-and-coming food blogger, all-around great person, Liza Rubin. Thank you for joining me. Where can they find you on social media, Twitter, Instagram?
Ooh, this eye of the tiger is
really
pumping me up, let me tell you. You can find me on Instagram at Liza ER. And yeah, I'm ready to get started.
All right, so like I said, Liza is an up-and-coming food blogger. When I say that, I mean, if you want to follow the best-looking stuff on Instagram, you need to hit her up. Where can they find you on your food Instagram?
Okay, so on my food Instagram, you can log on to Instagram and go to fat but skinny but fat. I'm telling you, we got donuts, we got pizza, everything you ever wanted. In
I follow it. You will not be disappointed, y'all. Like, it is everything. We have some smorgasbord. We have some foreign food from Australia. Like, literally global eats right here. It is amazing. I literally can't stop looking at it. So it's kind of like I live vicariously through it when I'm trying to eat healthy. But I'm all for a good food Instagram. But we are here to talk about gymnastics. So let's get right into it. Last week we discussed the U.S. women's team and the men's team and then the all-around individual. So as we discussed, the women won the gold for the all-around for the second time in a row. They won it back in London as well for the team. And then coming in first and second was Simone and Ali, and that kind of like carried through into the individual events a little bit. And then as for the men's, we saw them not do so well in the all-around and individual all-around events, but we had some winners for the men during the individual events. Really quickly, for the men, we had Danelle from our team. He won the silver medal for both the men's high bar and parallel bars today, and he was the alternate. So he was actually only put on the team because someone tore their ACL like a few weeks before. Right.
Well, did you know his family pit bull, I love pit bulls, but his family pit bull actually bit him, and you know the bite was so excruciating that he actually couldn't walk. And
was this Danelle or was this?
This was Danelle. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's
crazy. So he was rehabbing, and then once he got pulled in as an alternate, he was ready to go.
He was ready to go, and I think that like coming in as the underdog, it's almost easier to be more impressive. Mm-hmm. Like he just came in and won 2 silver medals, like out of nowhere.
Right.
I feel like the pressure wasn't on him in the same way that it was on someone like Simone, who goes in and everyone expects her to get 5 golds. Someone like Danelle could come in and just like pick some medals up casually.
Yeah, exactly, because he wasn't expecting to.
Yeah,
so it's like, okay, like I'm just gonna go with the flow, Olympics, no big deal.
Yeah, and no big deal. I mean, just getting there is like insane. Exactly. I literally can't even walk in a straight line. So, then the men's ring, which by the way, have you seen them do this? Because they hold themselves out in this thing called the Iron Cross, where they hold both rings and then like extend their body and they can like go up into handstands and stuff from there. I can't even like wrap my mind around the strength that takes.
Absolutely not. But I've tried the bars on Venice Beach, and I can't even pull myself up.
It's insane.
I can't even imagine.
I always wonder like if they're gonna like pop a blood vessel in their head, because it doesn't look like they breathe the entire time they do the rings. Like they're like
literally holding their breath.
They hold their breath. Their faces turn bright red. The guy who won this, I don't even want to try to pronounce his name. He got a 16. He's from Greece, and I actually noticed that he had like the giant Olympic rings tattooed on his back.
So when do you think he got that one?
I don't know. Would you get, if you were going to the Olympics, would you get a tattoo of like? I feel like that would be a good enough reason.
I think I would only get it if I won. Because what if you don't win? It's a constant reminder. Yeah,
that's true.
Thank the Lord.
I feel like if anything, like getting there is such an accomplishment. And then there's the two guys that came in second and third, I believe, were Brazilian. And whenever the Brazilians win in Brazil, like the crowd goes insane.
I was just gonna say it. It looked like a huge party when they won.
It was crazy. The guys, I mean, I don't know if it was for this event or maybe it was for pommel horse or something, but when the Brazilian guys win, like they're literally on the ground, like crying because, I mean, I don't think that he was the first Brazilian gymnast to win multiple Olympic medals.
That's crazy.
And to do that like on your home court is really insane.
Right, even more so.
Yeah, and then for floor for men, we had Max Whitlock, who really like came in strong this Olympics. He earned his 4th Olympic medal for the floor final, winning the gold. He's from Great Britain, and he comes in as a powerhouse. He, you know, kind of was like the front runner for this event. And then this was the event where the 2 Brazilians got second and third, and like literally they were in like the fetal position on the floor for like 20 minutes just crying of joy.
I mean, what would you do if you just want like
I would be doing the same thing. I'd be a wreck. I always find it interesting, you know, the floor is one that both women and men do, but men do it without music. So it's like a little bit, the floor for men like isn't my favorite because I'm used to seeing the women do it, and like Lori Hernandez and Simone, they have like such sass when they do the floor, so it's funny to watch like the men be so serious. But...
Exactly, and then when the quiet comes, it's like that much more intense.
Yeah, it's very strange. And whenever these Olympic gymnasts are performing, or competing or whatever you call it, the crowd is like dead silent. You could hear a pin drop, especially with events like the rings or the beam, like the really hard ones. The crowd is like just as serious as I would be too, as the athlete is. And then we had the men's pommel horse, which is the one where it looks like they're like breakdancing, which that one's crazy. Max Whitlock also took the gold for that. And a U.S. medaled in that one too, Alex Nador. He got a 15.7, which is crazy. And then, yeah, we talked a little bit about the men's high bar and then the men's parallel bar. China was actually supposed to like kill it in the parallel bars, and I watched the guy today. Nearly like when he did his landing, he fell, and they said it would have beat Oleg from Ukraine, who got the top score, if he didn't fall. Which is such a bummer because you know they must do it 100 times right.
Exactly. Well, it's funny because they were talking about Ali Reisman today, and her routine, think about it, takes 8 years to perfect that.
Yeah, that's
it's
the
like
one.
when the only thing that you miss is the landing or sticking the landing or just 1 point off, it's just that much more devastating.
Yeah, when you spend your whole life working up to this moment, you know you've done it right so many times, to be on the world's biggest stage and to mess it up.
Right.
Really, really stinks.
Especially on televised TV.
National, world television, the millions of people tuning in. I can't even imagine.
Exactly.
So then moving on to my favorite, no hating towards men, but I love myself some women's gymnastics.
Ooh, yes.
So let's talk quickly beam finals. We had in first place, this was when Simone did not do her strongest. Simone had a wobble, so she did not get first place, which was really surprising. I'm a little bit torn here because part of me was like, I want to see Simone take home 5 golds. But then the other part of me was like, nobody's perfect, you know? And like, even on a bad day, she lands a bronze. So I don't really know. What do you think about that? Like, do you think it was like she should have gotten all 5, or do you think the pressure was too much?
I honestly think she was an underdog, and I think there was, after winning so many golds, the pressure was definitely on. I think she had the whole world's eyes on her.
Right.
You could kind of see it in her face, especially after she kind of did her, stumble on the beam. Yeah, exactly. She kind of was just like, she knew. She was like, oh man.
Yeah, you could see the devastation in her eyes. And it's funny that you say she's an underdog because, like, to me, she was an underdog. I'd never really heard of Simone Biles before this Olympics, but in the gymnastics community, she's been like the world champion for the last 3 years. So to the average, person who was Simone Biles before a month ago, now she's like the only name you hear anywhere on the news. Even down to Zac Efron. Like, let me tell you, he literally flew to Rio for her.
Oh
I'm saying it was for her. I'm not 100% sure.
Well, but I am hoping it's for her.
She calls him her boyfriend, and like she loves him, and there's all these like gifs of them all over the internet right now of him like kissing her cheek and like.
I mean, is there something that we should know, Simone? Is there something we should know?
Simone has like 3 boyfriends in Brazil. She has like this Brazilian gymnast who she's calling her Brazilian boyfriend.
Oh my gosh.
I think she's like in the Olympic Village.
Well, I think she has many boyfriends after this. She has the world's pick.
She literally could have any boyfriend she wants. Yeah.
Well, it's also crazy because I feel like the girls team is getting so much celebrity attention. They have Zac Efron, and I think Lady Gaga tweeted at them.
So did Taylor Swift even.
Yeah, Taylor Swift
broke her Twitter silence to tweet at these women.
She did. So they're definitely making an impact with celebrities here.
Do you think that do you think they're going to try to get Simone or something to go on Dancing with the Stars? Because I know they got Ali Raceman. They've had Nastia Lukin and Shawn Johnson from past Olympics. I feel like they're going going to try to pick up one of these girls for...
Ooh, I could definitely see that. And honestly, they'd be amazing at Dancing with the Stars.
They are. They always are. I mean, I know Allie, I think, made it to the finals, and Sean, I think, won, actually.
Right,
so I don't know if there's an unfair advantage because gymnastics and dancing are very different, but they are trained. They're in really good shape already.
They're definitely coordinated, way more coordinated than I could
true.
ever be. But the even bigger question is, who will Taylor ask to join her squad next?
That is a really good question. Simone would be like the shortest one in that squad.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they tower over her.
Simone is 4'8", and all of Taylor Swift and her friends are like models. Like I'm pretty sure the minimum height is like 5'10" at least.
To apply. They need one short girl.
Yeah, like Selena Gomez I think is the shortest they have, and what is she, like 5'6"?
They need to round out the squad.
Yeah.
Come on.
Round out the squad with Simone Biles. That would be epic.
It
I would love
seriously.
That. Anyway, back to beam. Lori Hernandez from the U.S. got second place on that with a 15.33, which I think was great. Lori's 16 years old. Like, literally, I looked up her birthday today, and she was born in 2000, and it made me feel really old.
Don't even want to comment on that because...
Yeah, it's crazy. So she had a 15.33, and, like, I really was hoping she was going to take first, but Sine Weavers, who got first place from the Netherlands, she's, like, the first woman to ever get gold from the Netherlands. She's Dutch. So I was, and her routine was so perfect that it was like, okay, fine. You know what I mean? Like, I'll take second because of how good she is. Like, usually when the U.S. loses, I get kind of bitter, but because of how good she was, I kind of had to give it to her.
Some other countries definitely deserve a little love.
They do. They definitely do.
Love our U.S., but come on.
I mean, the only one that I'm still bitter about is Michaela Maroney's vault from 2012. I don't know if you've seen that, but literally that girl stuck that landing perfect, and she got silver for it. She had that viral meme of her, like...
Oh, no. There's always one of those. There's always one of those.
Unimpressed face when she got her silver medal. But that's the one I'm still bitter about. Not bitter about this one. Super stoked that Lori got second and Simone got third. I can't finish this event without talking about Flavia from Brazil. She is the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life. She's 4'4", weighs 68 pounds. Like, I was obsessed with watching her just because I think I want to, like, put her in my pocket.
A pocket-sized little girl.
So cute, so much energy, so talented. Like, Brazil just, the crowd went crazy for her when she came out. I loved watching her. Her energy was amazing. I'm hoping to see her again at the next Olympics. Like, someone like Lori or Flavia, who's 16 years old, who this is their first Olympics, like, I guarantee you we're going to see them again in 4 years in Tokyo.
100%.
And I can only imagine how much better they're going to get because of how good they were. I mean, to make it to the event finals is hard. Like, even, like, Allie Raceman, who got bronze on this in London, didn't make it to the beam finals.
Right.
So to make it to the finals is a big deal. So these women are really, really talented, all of them that even get there. Next, we'll talk about the uneven bars, which... unfortunately, Gabby Douglas had a little similar to Simone mishap. She didn't fall off, but it was enough to get a deduction where she ended up getting 7th place. She got a 15.066, which is crazy that 7th place is breaking 15 because that's such an impressive score on bars. Bars are so difficult.
Yeah.
They make me so nervous to watch. These girls are, like, flying. I don't even think that I could, like, hang on to the top bar. I keep comparing it to myself, but, like, Bill Murray tweeted last week. I think we talked about it a bit in last week's episode, but he tweeted, I feel like for every Olympic event, we need a regular person to do this, to, like, juxtapose.
To be, like, the variable.
Yeah, to, exactly. Like, show you how difficult, because they make it look so easy, and it's not.
Well, it's just crazy because especially when they put it on slow-mo or show it from the aerial position, my back hurts after watching.
Yeah.
I feel like
crazy.
I need a massage. It scares me.
It really is. These girls defy gravity. They fly.
It's incredible. It's incredible the physics that also goes into it. I'm not even going to try and explain because I'm not a physics professor, but it's just crazy how they defy physics.
They really do. So for the U.S., second place on this is Madison Koshin. And Madison Koshin came here to do bars. This is her strong suit. I mean, I believe on the team finals for the U.S., she got a 15.933, which is like the best score I've seen in that of the Olympics, probably ever. I don't know. But unfortunately, if she had gotten that score during the event finals, she would have won, which is so heartbreaking when that happens. But she lost to, didn't lose. She got silver, and Aliyah Mustafina from Russia got gold. And to see Aliyah smile is something that, like, actually fills my heart with joy because she is such a stoic, classic Russian gymnast. To see her, like, be happy and have fun and, like, actually win a gold for once was, like, really empowering, you know?
Right, well-deserved.
It was really well-deserved. She worked her whole life for this. I was a little bitter towards her because in 2012, she and Allie both got bronze, and there was a tiebreaker, so Aliyah ended up getting it and Allie didn't.
Right.
So, like, up until this year, until Allie had her redemption and got the silver in the all-around. I was a little bit bitter towards Aaliyah, but now I can appreciate her, and I think she is well-deserving to win the gold on bars. She was amazing.
Well, it's just crazy because the scores in between the two are
So
just
close.
so close, and I think...
It's a seventh of, like, it's less than 100th of a point.
Right, and the commentators were talking about it, and, you know, they had a couple handstands that were off, but... Honestly, it was all in the landing too.
It was.
Like, it really, really.
They both stuck their landing.
Yeah.
You know, that it comes down to the landing. It really does, because like even back to the men's stuff, like on the parallel bars and on the rings, like you really have to stick those landings. Like they can take off. I think it's a 1/10 of a point for every like small hop, and it depends on the size of the hop. We'll talk about it in a little bit, but gymnastics is really hard for me sometimes because it is a subjective judging sport. Whereas, like, with swimming or track, like, you have a number. There is a time that is your score, kind of. And, like, so first, second, third makes more sense to me than sometimes with gymnastics. Like, we're human beings. There's a human bias.
Right. Well, it's just crazy how much, like, a point... Like,
a point? If you
crazy.
Look at the top 7 for bars, they're all within a point. The first place has 15.9. Then Gabby came in 7th and has 15.066. So all of them are within 100th of a, like, 900th of a point.
I would just love to be a fly on the wall in the judges.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, what are they saying? What could possibly shred just...
Well, yeah, actually, on the beam, we didn't talk about this, but they can contest their scores. So, like... I believe both Lori and Marine Boyer from France contested their scores. They like went to the judges and said like I want a recount essentially. And I read online, NBC actually tweeted it, that every time you do that in the Olympics, you literally have to hand the judges $300 cash. How sketchy is that?
Wait, you have to pay them?
Yes, and then they actually both got rejected, so they didn't get any additional points.
Well, do you get your money back?
No, if you pay, you don't. If you don't get your money back.
Has to be a done deal. You have to know.
Yeah, so which is like seems like so shifty. Like we're in the Olympics.
Yeah,
why are you
what
doing
does that money go towards?
Beats me. Maybe the judges get to pocket it. Who knows?
Maybe.
Who
for all their
freaking
hard
knows?
work.
Yeah, such a strange thing.
Yeah, that's bizarre.
Isn't that really weird? Because I know that they do that like in competitions, and I would imagine it would go to like, you know, funding future competitions and whatnot. But like with the Olympics, I didn't know that they actually did that, and it's a heftier price. I heard at the nationals competitions and stuff, it's like $100. Here, it's $300.
Oh
so like
gosh.
literally, you probably have to carry wads of cash with you into gymnastics.
Well, where do they put it in their leotard?
I'm sure the coaches will. I also read
Just
that
in case.
those leotards, you can get deductions if like any of your bra straps show or anything.
Right.
So they have to have like body tape underneath those. And also like TMI, but the waxing situation has to be amazing on those leotards.
Don't even want to know.
So these women have to be in pristine shape.
100%. Well, that's interesting you say that because a few years ago there was that movie Stick It.
Yeah.
And they made such a big point about pulling their bra straps out because one girl got called out and they were trying to make a point that it's not fair. But I never really actually knew that. You
get deductions, yeah. So yeah, you don't. They can't afford, like we see here, all within a 100th of a point. You can't afford any mistakes. So
oh my gosh,
you have enough pressure. You can't have to worry about your outfit. Which, by the way,
or your undergarments.
Those leotards cost like $1,500 each. These ones for the Olympics because they have all real Swarovski crystals on them.
Yeah, they are just
blinging out.
Yeah.
The whole like get up for the entire gymnastics, like for one girl for the week or 2 weeks that they're there, is like $12,000. I read online. Gosh. You could like buy wedding gowns galore.
So how do they even afford to contest their scores?
Yeah, that's
all their money has to go towards their outfits.
I don't think that they're paying for it, but who knows? At this point, they're all making a lot of money. I see Simone flipping around in Tide commercials and.
Yes, I just saw that last night, and I wonder when she filmed that. Like, did they
I don't know. Well, she's professional. She's gone pro, so she can do it. And I know Allie just decided she was going pro instead of going to University of Florida. Madison is not going pro, so she will not be doing commercials. She's going to UCLA. I plan on going to watch her because we're here in LA, and I'm going to go see Madison at some point this year.
Oh yeah.
Okay, next let's talk about the vault finals, where Simone took home her first individual event gold with a 15.966. So I know that like Simone's difficulty scores are higher and everything, but like this is still a crazy good score.
Oh yeah.
Like she had such little deduction. So what they do for the vault finals is you do 2 vaults and then they average your scores. And so that means like her one score was like a 16 and the other was like a 15.9 or something. Like to not only do one so perfectly but have to do another right after. Like you see the power they run, and she's so little but gets so high.
She
it's
gets
insane.
air.
She gets serious air. She flies. This girl can fly like no one else. And then second place is Maria Paseka from Russia with a 15.253 with silver. And then third was Julia Steingruber from Switzerland with a 15.216. And she's actually the first female Swiss athlete or gymnast, I believe, to ever medal.
Wow.
Which, like, I love stories like that because I went on her Instagram today and everyone commenting on it was saying, like, you're our hero. And so it's amazing because, like, we in America here, it's like everything is like Phelps, Katie Ledecky, Simone, but like these people are bringing so much joy to their countries all around the world, no matter what medal they get. They're just going to the Olympics and representing.
Oh, 100%. And you can also see that with Brazil. Like they're so excited that
they really are.
Someone from their team is just bringing home the gold, you know?
Yeah.
Or in this case, the bronze.
You know what?
But it doesn't even matter.
Just medaling, to be an Olympic medalist, like you've accomplished, these people are younger than I am and they've accomplished more in their lives probably than I ever will. Like it's amazing. It really is amazing. Right. To watch. And like we said, they're so young. I mean, our team, we have Simone, who's 19, Gabby's 20, Madison's 19, Lori's 16, and then Allie's 22, and they call Allie grandma.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I'm 22. Does that mean I'm a grandma?
Yeah, I guess so. I'd be a grandma in gymnastics. I'm not kidding. I watched this and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to start training and like I'm going to be a gymnast.
We'll see you at the Olympics in 8 years, Dani. Yeah. I'll be watching.
8 years, I'll be the oldest gymnast there. Actually, no, I won't. Because as we're talking about vault, we should talk about, I believe her name is I don't want to pronounce it wrong. She's from Uzbekistan, and her name is Okasana. She's 41 years old, and she performed in these vault finals. Wow. And so she's, I believe, on her 7th Olympics. I don't want to misspeak. I have it in my notes. I apologize. Yeah, it's her 7th Olympics, and she's not just showing up. Like, she's not just like, I'm here. She's making it to the event finals for her favorite event, which is vault. And she wasn't just, like, doing an easy vault. She did a 17-level difficulty vault. Oh my gosh. She did this, like, triple flip in the air and ended up landing on her knees. But, like, it's still amazing. She has a 16-year-old son who's the same age as the girl she's competing against. Like, what do you think about this?
That's crazy. Well, I wonder if he was there.
Is he like, Mom, set me up with Lori Hernandez?
Yeah, exactly. Like, talking to all the other gymnasts. But, I mean, I'm just sure I mean, if that was your mom, I would be so proud. And I'd be flaunting it and telling everyone that was my mom. Like, there's no other reaction you can have.
It's amazing. And I mean, I think it's just like such a testament to the human body. Like, we can do anything. Mm-hmm. And I feel like so many people, just because you're a mom or just because you're a certain age, like, think that you can't do something. But you absolutely can. Like, she's 41 years old and she's defying all the odds. Like, people always say gymnastics is like when you're a teenager and you see all these Chinese gymnasts who are 15, 16 years old that look really, really young, and you compare that to her who's in her 40s, who I feel like I could see her again in 2020 showing up, you know?
Right. Well, it's crazy how much they say that, you know, it's mind over body.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
If you just put your mind to it and you keep practicing, I mean, I'm on the treadmill for 1 minute and want to quit, but
exactly.
Like, good for her. She's, you know, defying odds and going for it.
I mean, she's still jacked, too. If you look at her body, she has, like, a six-pack and her legs are, like, extremely strong. I mean, just to do the vault, to come at it at that sprint and, like, have to really pound your legs in there, it's amazing. Also, speaking of the Chinese gymnasts, I feel like because they're so tiny, like I was looking at a lot of their weights and like just the size of these girls is so much smaller than someone like Julia Steingruber from Switzerland, who's I believe like 5'3" at least. These girls
are
tall for gymnastics. Yeah, it really is. These Chinese girls can't even compress the springboard enough to get as much air on the vault, which is such an important part because you do your tricks all in the air.
Right.
And so it's harder for them, I feel like, to be able to succeed in this event when they're, like, literally physically challenged, I feel like, almost. But I don't know. I mean, I look at them, and I know that they're, like, 15, 16 years old, but just their whole physique is so much... Like, you look at someone like Allie Raceman, like, she looks like a woman. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, right. Yeah, she's crazy toned and has the most beautiful body, but, like, she looks like a young adult. Right. Rather than, like, some of these young women literally look like kids still. Right.
Well, maybe that almost helps their cause, because it could make them more aerodynamic.
It
you know,
does.
They're lighter.
I mean, on the bars and stuff, it really does help. They're amazing. I believe Shang Chu Sun came in 5th on the bars, and she came in 4th overall in the women's all around. And I remember just like watching her cry, like broke my heart. Whenever I see these kids like break down, right, it kills me because they work so damn hard. They work harder in like one day than I probably have at anything in my whole life. So like to watch them like. I feel like I want to, like, give them all a hug.
It's like, I'll comfort you. But it's crazy because it's their whole entire life.
It is.
And then it's over within, you know, 2 minutes or, you know, however long it takes for a routine. But it's just crazy I could not imagine the disappointment that
I know.
Would come.
I mean, I sound like bitter, but I feel like if I went to the Olympics and did all that, I'd even be bitter if I got like silver. You know what I mean? Like if I'm working this hard, like I want to win it.
Right, exactly. And I think that's how a lot of them feel. So to us, it's like, oh, why are you so upset? Like you went to the Olympics, but for them, this is their whole entire life. It's what they're working
Been building up to this moment. Yeah, and actually, Shang Chu-sun is the 16-year-old Chinese gymnast who. Her mom was, right when she made the Chinese national team, her mom was diagnosed with lung cancer and passed away right after. So, like, to have to go through that, too, and then compete. It's like, this girl has dedicated her life. Like, I feel like, if anything, maybe hopefully it's been a good outlet for her with all of the stuff she's gone through. But, like, I feel like I'm hoping we see her again in 2020. I know the Chinese, like, keep their gymnasts really young, but I'm hoping we see some of them again. Like, the like, 4th and 5th placers that I know could come back strong. Definitely. We'll see. Yeah, it was really fun to watch them. They're really talented. They're all really talented. And then next up is the women's floor, which is my favorite. Floor is my absolute favorite. Like, I feel like you really get to see the gymnast personality.
Right.
Because they get to, like, choose their own music. And, I mean, they better frickin' love the music because they probably listen to it millions of times.
It looks like they do. They're all vibing to it. Like, so much sass. It's all on point.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, if you watch Simone's floor, she, like, does these, like, 2 body rolls at one point in it. I feel like I know their floor routines now because for Simone and Allie specifically, we saw them do it in the qualifying, and then we saw them do it in the team all around, then the individual all around, and now in the event.
Come on, Dani, let's see you. Let's get up. Let's see you do it.
Should I do Allie?
I think you should.
Allie, how does Allie start? Allie, like, starts, like
no, they do, like, the whole...
This is how Allie
I look like a Hawaiian dancer, but that's how she starts?
This is her starting pose.
What was yours be? Well, give me your starting pose.
My starting pose would be, it'd be like one of these.
Such a diva.
You know... Lori Hernandez gives a wink to the judges before she starts, which I think is so cute.
Well, maybe she doesn't even need $300 to.
No, she doesn't. She'll just give them. I wonder. I heard the announcers, the commentators were actually being like, I wonder if there's a deduction for that. They're like, the U.S. is so far ahead at this point in the team finals that it doesn't matter. Take off 1/10 of a point for winking. We can afford it. Or we really like came crazy ahead in the women's team. We were at 184.897 when Russia, who was right behind us, came in with a 176. So like 8 points behind us, which is crazy that like, so we could afford 1/10 of a point for a wink.
Just a wink.
Can't even wink. See, that's where I'm at right now. So yeah, as we're talking about this, you'll notice that Gabby Douglas actually only made the bars finals, which is interesting. And you know, she's getting a lot of heat on social media right now, which I don't like. People are giving her a lot of crap for like not putting her hand over her heart during the national anthem, or they're saying she's just been like sour and bitter because she's not winning things like she was last time. But it's like, give the girl a break.
Right. I mean, I just think it's so funny when people go on Twitter or social media and, you know, they give these girls criticism. Like, you go up there and do that.
Yeah.
I want to see you do that and see how you do.
It's crazy. I mean, I can agree that, like, there are some of the girls that are... We have 3 alternates in Rio. We have Reagan, Smith, Michaela Skinner, and Ashton Locklear. And they all came, like, either ahead of Gabby or just behind Gabby in the trials. And so... yeah, maybe it would have been nice to see one of them again, but, like, hopefully we'll be able to see them in 2020, and, like, we're giving Gabby her last shot, you know, at winning. And, I mean, to be honest, Gabby absolutely killed it in the team finals where she got a 15.766 on the uneven bars, which helped us get our team gold, you know?
Right, so she's contributing like, just as much as everyone
contributing.
Else.
Her and Madison Koshin, like, I don't want them to be outshined this year by, like, the Simone Biles show. You know, because I feel like it really is, which is well-deserving. But I need, like, all these gymnasts to have ample credit. Like, Allie Raceman has come in, like, second a lot this year. And, you know, she got her gold for floor back in 2012. But she is an insanely talented gymnast, great role model, like, consistent through and through.
Right.
Like, I don't want them to be outshined just because Simone is, like, the best gymnast in the world.
Well, it's so sweet because I feel like that team of girls is so supportive of each other nonetheless. But... Allie actually shared in an interview, she said that, you know, to come in second next to Simone Biles is like coming in first.
Yeah, it is really sweet.
I mean, these girls are just so supportive of each other. I'm sure, you know, Gabby is having the best time with them there. And you know what? It does suck, you know, she was kind of at the forefront, you know, at the last
She has her
Olympics.
own Barbie. Girl has her own Barbie. That's when you know you made it.
That's when you know you made it. Not when you get gold, but when you get your own Barbie and when you get your own Chipotle card. So
yeah,
Gabby, get on that. But
they probably all have
you know,
them.
it's just such an amazing friendship that they've, you know, accumulated, and you know, these girls love each other. So
they
I
have
feel
bonds
like,
for life. These girls.
So I feel like, you know, they're only, you know, building each other up, and social media is kind of
bringing
you know,
them down. It is. You know, it's hard because there's such like an empowering, strong group of young women. I such prefer these kind of role models to like a lot of the reality stars that are out there. Like these are teenage, young 20s girls that like I want someone like my future kids to look up to, you know, and I don't like that the internet trolls are bringing someone like Gabby down because they're like, oh, she's had this work done, or she's a sour because she's not covering, you know, she's not patriotic or whatever. It was just like, she's probably freaking exhausted. Like these girls are up. I don't know if you've seen they're on the Today Show in the morning, so they're up at like 5 in the morning, holding their eyes open.
Hangry. They are hangry, I am sure.
I'm sure. Well, actually, Simone eats pizza after every competition, apparently. That's like her thing. Yeah, she like has a pizza shirt that she wears. She's so cute. I love her.
It's my kind of girl.
Yeah, she really is. She like has been tweeting back at everyone this whole week, like all these celebrities that have been tweeting at her.
Oh my gosh.
I can't wait till they come home. Like, are they just gonna like be all over TV for the next month?
Oh, I'm sure.
I can't wait. Like, I hope they're like on all the morning talk shows and everything. Like, I feel like it's gonna be a lot of fun to have them back in the U.S.
Definitely going to be a big time for them. All the morning talk shows are gonna have them. They're gonna have, you know, eye on them. Eye is already on them.
Yeah, and it's crazy because I feel like someone like Simone, who was already kind of a celebrity in the gymnastics community. I mean, before this, she had like 300,000 followers on Instagram. Now she already has almost 2 million. So like coming home to the U.S. is gonna be crazy for her because now she's like a national hero. Like I saw this thing from the New York Times. It was like a cartoon of her, and it was like, at least someone's making America great again.
Oh no.
It was great, but it was just like, she's gonna come home and I feel like she's not gonna be used to like being recognized everywhere, and now her life is about to totally 180 change.
Oh, well, it's funny because I feel like, you know, the Olympics and all of our, you know, as you call them, U.S. heroes, they've totally taken precedence, you know, over politics for right now.
They have.
It's the biggest thing in America right now. So I mean,
and it's giving me like a lot of like pride in my country, and I'm feeling really patriotic. So like, let's not mess it up, okay, y'all? Just vote for someone.
Don't mess
good.
it up.
Let's vote for
Simone Biles.
Yeah,
Simone Biles for president.
I'm all for that. Anyway, back to floor. So third place for floor was Amy Tinkler from Great Britain, who got a 14.933. Stuck her landings, great routine. Hadn't heard a lot from her this entire, you know, competition, aka the Olympics. So I was excited to get a medal for someone new. I always like, you know, to kind of spread it out as much as we can, like get as many people medals as possible because these people all work so hard. Like I said, like even the people that just qualify for these events are so talented. So
share the wealth.
Share the freaking wealth. Then next up, this is where my complaints about judging being subjective comes in. Allie Raceman, who is my favorite on floor, by far, always has been, probably always will be, had a 15.5. And I watched this routine, and me and the commentators both agreed that, like, this was the best she's done it. And so, and I mean, with last week's, she got a, like, 15, I forget what she got on floor, 15. I don't remember what she got on floor, but she did amazing on floor in the team, and she did amazing on floor in the individual. The individual on floor actually got her all-around silver for the individual. So it's like, it's hard for me to agree with them on that one. I don't know. Like, do you think that they go in with any bias? Or, I mean, I don't know them, so I don't really know what the deal is, but it's hard.
It's really hard, and I think, I mean, how can you not have bias? It's not like a jury where the jury's kind of completely taken out of the situation.
These must be like gymnastics specialists, so they know the scene.
Yeah.
They know who's favored going in. Like, I feel like figure skating, even like to that, in the Winter Olympics, like, you know that they knew that Simone was coming in and she was the favored champion. And I do think that Simone's difficulty level on this event was higher, so the way it works is like when your difficulty level is higher, then even if you get more deductions, you're still gonna win because there's less. There's more for you to take from. There's like a bigger pot. So like, yes, Simone had a more difficult routine, but I think that Allie like stuck her landings better, and like I liked her music better, I liked her energy better. Like I just feel like maybe I'm biased because I love Allie, but I don't know. Like this one was really, really close. Even if Allie had gotten like closer to Simone's score, I think I would have been happier. I think she got a little ripped off here with a 15.5.
I mean, I completely agree. I don't know. I felt like Allie was just hitting her marks.
She was.
She stuck the landings amazing.
Her first pass that she does, I literally wrote down what she does because I can't even say it. She does this like double Arabian layout, then she lands, and in her landing, she like rebounds and does another trick. Do you see that? How like instead of like just landing, she'll like land and then do another flip or something.
She goes right into it.
She goes right into it. It's amazing.
So her momentum is just insane.
It really is. I feel like she has magnets in her feet to the ground because someone, like, I think that Simone has magnets, like, to the ceiling because she can get so much air. I saw this funny GIF online of, like, Simone doing her floor routine, and then she does a flip, and then someone edited it so, like, she goes into outer space and then comes back down and sticks the landing.
Might as well. It's
kind of what's been happening. She gets, for someone so small, like, I literally thought there must be a trampoline under that floor with the amount of air she gets. Nuts.
It's literally all like the push off from her hand.
She must have such strong like arms and legs. I mean, she does. Like I watched her do this thing on YouTube where she climbs a rope with just her arms, like with no legs, which is insane. She could just like boop 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 boop.
Well, it's insane too because when they slow mo, you see her land in full. It's almost like a squat.
It's like impact.
Position.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's crazy. Yeah, exactly. The impact's on her knees, but the fact that she's just able to stick it and just she kind of springs up and it absorbs all the shock.
Yeah, it really is. I feel like it as much as like I hate seeing people fall, there was this young woman, Sita, from Russia, who in the individual all-around fell a couple times during the floor. And as much as I hate seeing someone fall, it almost like humanized the event again for me because it's like we see someone like Allie and Simone just stick it time and time again that you forget how hard it is. You really do. Like they make it look so effortless, so clean that like the littlest things they get points off for. Like Allie, they were saying, you know, her knees were a little bit apart. Or like Simone crosses her toes. And like that gets a deduction. Like you literally have to to get a perfect score is actually impossible.
Well, it's insane because these girls are so perfect that they're looking for those tiny little, not even mistakes, but just the tiny little
deductions,
details. Yeah,
as we call them in gymnastics. Yeah, it really is crazy. And I'm really sad because that is the end of gymnastics for the Olympics. I mean, that's I literally wait 4 years every 4 years to see Olympic gymnastics. It's amazing. It really is. It's like the best of the best in the world. I can't get enough of it. These are like the most, maybe I'm again biased, but like I feel like the gymnasts are like the most talented athletes at this Olympics. Like I know the swimmers and the track people are crazy and good in shape, but like get them up on a balance beam and let's see what they can do.
Well, it's also, I feel like the most visually stimulating with, you know, swimming there in the water. I mean, it's really cool to see, especially when Michael Phelps is just soaring in front of everyone. Yeah. And especially, you know, with track, it's crazy to see how fast they go, but you know, there's just flips involved and turns involved and just so many tricks and you're just in awe the entire time.
Yeah, the like gravity of what these people do. Like they are actually from another planet. Like I don't even know where to begin. They train their entire lives. Like a lot of these girls like move away from their families because I know the WOGA, the World Olympic Gymnastics Academy, is in Dallas, Texas or something.
Wow. So really impressed though.
Yeah, I know that because my co-host last week, her sister is a college gymnast who like competes with all of them, and so she went there, which is like they literally have to give up their lives. Some people move their families across the country to go to things like this, and so it really is like their entire life, their entire, you know, everything. And so I sometimes like think, what are they gonna, like, what next, you know? Like for Allie Raceman, someone who, you know, I think this may be closer to the end of her Olympics career, what is she gonna do next? Is she gonna be a coach? Is she gonna, I don't know.
Right. Well, I definitely think gymnastics will always be in her life in some way, shape, or form.
Totally. I think her body needs a rest. These girls all need like a hot bath.
An ice bath.
Seriously, I hope they all like take a vacation and enjoy themselves. It's very well deserved. They're all coming home with like tons of jewelry, like all the big medals. You know what I mean? Right. Like not a single one of them is leaving Rio without a medal.
Well, what do you think they do after the Olympics? Where do you think they go? Disneyland?
I would
go to Disneyland.
I would go to Disneyland. It really is. It's amazing. I mean, I feel like if anything, they kind of just want to like exhale, go home, be with their families, and like celebrate with their family and friends. And like honestly, like all their friends. Like if it was my friend, I'd want to like try on the gold medal. Like it's an amazing thing to be able to bring home. Like I feel like they're gonna be like celebrities for forever now, and I'm really excited to see what else is to come for all of them. I hope one of them is on Dancing with the Stars. I feel like Lori would be amazing because she's so sassy and cute and gives winks to the judges already. I feel like we could get her on Dancing with the Stars.
Or Allie with her.
Allie's been on it, so she can't go back. But maybe Simone. With someone like Simone, I feel like they're like, we don't want to get her hurt. Right. You know what I mean? Like, 'cause we want her back in the Olympics in 4 years, so we'll see. But that concludes our gymnastics coverage for this week. Thank you guys for watching. This has been a lot of fun. Where can they find you on social media?
Well, you can find my personal account on Instagram, Liza ER, or you can find my food account for tasty, travels at Fat but skinny, but fat.
Make sure you guys check that out for real. It's really, really amazing. And my name is Dani Golub. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Dani Golub. Thank you so much for tuning in. We had a lot of fun. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.